Guys, this is Ginger and welcome back to the farm. So today we are going to practice with young Jigs with the Tarp being out in his pen. So yesterday I placed this Tarp out in his paddock. He has not been a very happy camper about this at all. Like, not happy about it. So I left it in here overnight, and then now we are fixing to work around it, getting closer and closer to it, and then see if I can get him to touch it. Let's go. We got a lot of rain last night, a lot of rain. So everybody's nasty and gross. But anyway, we are going to work on practicing being around this tarp. The tarp and that tree. Oh, you do it. Good boy. He decided to go through the tree instead, which is fine. Whatever. At least he came. Yeah, you can do it. So he just needs a moment. He's got to think about this for a second. I hope y'all can see. Can't tell if y'all can see him or not. I would like for him to walk through it without walking on the tree. Better. He barely tapped the tree. Good man. So, I don't know if y'all are able to see that very well or not. I hope so, but he barely tapped the edge of that tree. So I'm going to give him a minute just kind of play so to let him know that he did really good with that. Yeah, that was very nice. It was very nice. I'm going to adjust his halter. So he's still choosing to hit the tree first. Just so he doesn't have to go near the tarp. But what I do like about it is he's not running me over. Yeah. So having a horse that's not going to run you over is always a good thing. Because let me tell you, the mares don't give two shits if they run you over. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. He did a little bit better that time. You had to think about it. But he did really good. He's still noticing that tarp. But he at least went through there. I would like for him to get through there without actually hitting that tree. So close. He just caught the very edge of that bush right as he was leaving out. At any point he gets to where he wants to be curious near it, this is the closest that he's been to the tarp. So anytime he gets curious about it, I'm just going to let him do it. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. So that time he went through the opening, he did not hit the tree. So I'm definitely going to give him a good release on that. Good, so now on this next part, I'm going to go and walk over the tarp myself, which I know he's not going to like that once he hears it move around. He's probably not going to be the happiest guy in the world about it. So, but we're just going to keep doing that. I'll make some noise and then send him around, you know, in the same pattern, you know, through the tree. Boy. So I'm not going to worry about it. I knew that was going to be, you know, an issue once he heard it and that I stepped on it. He's very concerned about me stepping on this thing. He just does not think it's a good idea at all. Good, let's walk. Walk. Good boy. See that pulling me. Good, walk. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. There, that was nice. I'm gonna stop and rest here. So I just want him to see that me standing on it is fine. Like, it's no big deal. It's no different than me just standing over there on the grass. Like, it's totally normal. I'm just gonna wait till he gets over it. So I'm kind of thinking and processing about it right now. I wouldn't say he's calm about it. He's more curious. And when he gets a little nervous, that's when he wants to mouth and nibble. So he always grabs the end of his lead rope there. He's nervous about me being on it. Good man. Good man. Yeah. He did it and then he realized he got closer to it. So it took him a second there. Like, no. Good boy. Good. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. Slides now. Good, let's keep walking. Keep walking. Good boy. I'm not gonna worry about what he's doing as long as he's doing. So he went through it without hitting that tree. Emotional support donkey has come in. Good boy. Good, now that we have walked all around it and he's really secure about going in between the tree and the tarp without hitting it. Emmett is over there. He is messing around the tarp. So I'm just going to stand in it and see how well I can get him to come in close to the tarp and smell it. Maybe shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Good, good. Yep. Good. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. He's trying to say no as politely as he can. His eyes are just a little, Step up. And all I'm doing is very gently with like 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and then forefingers, and then I just hold and milk it until with the same intensity. Like I'm not going above an intensity that I know that I can handle for a long time. And it doesn't take that much. There's no point in like manhandling him. Like I don't need to get into a fight with him because he's bigger than me, and I'd have to exert a lot of energy. So I'd rather him already just go ahead and develop that trust in me, that I'm not going to ask him to do anything that's going to get him hurt, and that he can trust what I'm saying. And I'd rather go ahead and start developing that now, rather than him be worried that I'm going to put him in a very bad situation right off the bat in the beginning of our relationship, you know? I want him to go ahead and feel confident, you know, in what I'm going to ask him to do. And the stepping forward thing is something that we've already done. It's the same pattern, the same work. It's not, this isn't new, it's just that it's new. Sam's over there messing with me. Good boy. Good boy. Ben! He's trying to tip over the feed bucket. Step up. Step up. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good boy. You can think about it. You can think about it all you want. And I have to keep backing up a little bit more to give him more room because I've already worked with him and trying to teach him to stay out of my space. So I don't want to stay right there on the edge of the tarp and get him to come in too close to me when he's like, dude, like you don't like me to be that close. So I want to make sure he still respects that spacing. So I just keep inching back. The closer he gets, I just move myself so that he can come a little bit closer and a little bit closer. What I like for him to do is at least touch the tarp with his nose. Like that's what I would like for him to do. Okay, step up. Step up. Step up. Backwards. Good. That was an almost step. That was an almost step. Can I get a full step? Thank you. Good. You put yourself back. No. I can't give you that. So it's a step forward and an immediate step back into the same position, same distance away. So I'm going to keep asking and get a little closer. Little closer. Good. Step up. Step up. It's okay if he gets frustrated. You can work through it. Step up. Good man. Good man. Yeah. I'm not 100% convinced he should touch it, but he's thinking about it. when he does something like that, he's just trying the boundaries, as all horses do, but especially young horses. And he's just trying to see like what the right answer is and how he can get away and get out of it. And you just kind of go with it and don't get upset or anything. Like if they want to make their life harder and do harder work, that's fine. We can do that. I don't prefer it. I would like it if none of us had to work hard. But, you know, sometimes you gotta. The ball wave. That's a good ball wave. More work. So always the same rules apply no matter what we're doing. I was always taught that the main two rules is always one, don't come into my space uninvited, and two, don't pull on the end of the rope. So you got to stay within the bounds of our connection, our relationship. And so if he's going to start pulling back and wanting to drag me, then we've got to do something different. Get his mind, you know, back on task, back on me. So he can't come and run over the top of me, and he can't pull out and pull me away. So what I'm not going to do is ask him to do anything at all while he's in that state of mind. See how low, might be kind of hard for y'all to see from here, but his eyes are really low, but they're like half blinky. His nostrils are slightly flared. His breathing's a little bit faster, even though he looks really quiet. He's kind of like, you know, so he's not in a shutdown state, but he is definitely in a thinking about this state and not too sure where to go, you know, from here. He hasn't quite figured out what the right answer is quite yet. So he's got to think about it. There are definitely faster ways to do this. You know, you can always, you know, do the method where, you know, you're constantly keeping them in a state of motion until they accidentally run over it, and then, you know, you just keep going and going until you get them over the top of it. And, you know, those methods are a lot faster. And in a lot of horses, that's fine. You can teach them that way. I don't know that that develops the best amount of trust. I don't know that he would trust me if I kind of forced him, you know, into that. So that's not a method that I want to use right now. So again, as long as he's not pulling on the end of my line or trying to run over me, we'll just take our time with it. And the only time that he's going to have to go to work and do things that are uncomfortable is if he makes me uncomfortable. So as long as I'm not in an uncomfortable or unsafe position, then he's not going to be put in an uncomfortable, unsafe position. Will we have to stretch those boundaries one day? Absolutely. You know, that's just a part of life. You're going to be in uncomfortable, unsafe positions if you're working with horses. But in this beginning stage of training and building a connection and trust with him, that's not where we're at. We're not doing anything. I'm not training him to be, you know, a fire mount, you know, or an emergency response horse, you know. That's not what we're doing at this moment in time. Honestly, you know, if I do all this correctly now, then, you know, if something happens later on down the road and we do get into a sticky, hairy situation, which we will, everybody does at some point or another, then hopefully our trust would be built up enough then that he's going to do what I ask him to do to get us out of that situation without a lot of backlash. You ready now? Okay. All right. You'll wait now? Okay. Good. Oh, wait. That was a good little half step. Okay. Good. Good job. I'm going to take one more step. Step up. Step up. Good. Good. Is this slow and tedious? Yes. He was so close to touching it. I mean, his nose was within an inch of touching it. Step up. And this is also helpful in teaching him about getting in the trailer. Like, we're going to have to get in the trailer eventually. And the more things that he can step on that make noise and rattle and are quite uncomfortable for him, you know, the better. Yeah. He's so incredibly close. Good boy. Touch it. I know it blows and makes noise. That's what you have to get used to. Yeah. And my freaking phone shut off because the video was on for too long. So he did tap it. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it around and let him chase it for a little bit. Kind of like the same thing we did yesterday with the fly spray. Another thing that you can do, this is how I did it with Mercy too, to get them more confident about it, is to drag it and they chase it. So it's kind of like the same thing we did with the fly spray yesterday. What's wrong with poop, Pop? You don't need to pop your own poop. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Get it. Get it. Tear it up. Get it. Tear it up. Tear it up. job. I know. So what I'm going to do for today, instead of leaving it laying on the ground like it was last night, what I'm going to do is every day I'm going to move it and put it like in a different position. So it's going to make different noise, be in different areas, and just like, it's be super annoying to him until he can, you know, get over it. So I think today probably what I'm going to do is tie it in the tree that's over near where I hang the hay bags. So then, like, if he wants to eat, he's going to have to kind of stand near it. Like, he's not going to have to touch it, but if it flaps around in the wind, things like that today, he is going to hear it and let it get on his nerves. Yeah. I know. There's just stuff all in your pen, isn't it? Kind of weird stuff. Yeah. Play with it. There we go. There we go. Good boy. See, it's not so bad, is it? It's like it's terrible.